like we are kind of St. Paul again, who just wants to be on the road to Damascus. Well, we're getting pandemic fatigue, I know, including those in the healthcare professions who are still taking care of COVID patients. Remember last year we were honking our horns and flashing our lights out in front of hospitals and clinics to show our support and appreciation for them. This year, it seems like we're not sure what to do. It's frustrating for all of us. I was texting my former spiritual director this week, who's a priest in Nebraska. He's a pastor of a large parish and school, very similar to this one. And the text that I sent him said, some of the parents here are revolting. You know, after you reread something that you sent, I had to change it. I said, there's a little revolt among some parents. They're not revolting people. They're just a little upset right now. It's important to edit ourselves before we react and hit send. Like the sign in the school hallway that says, spread kindness, not germs. It's very understandable that we're upset. We're all dealing once again with something we can't see or understand or control. And that makes us feel vulnerable, makes us feel frustrated. We just don't like it when we feel that way. Sometimes when we're afraid or hungry or upset, we do or say or text or tweet or email things out of those emotions. Or we take it the wrong way because we're tired or stressed out about something, and sometimes that can be completely unrelated to the thing that sets us off. You know, anything that keeps us on the road to Damascus, even if we're blinded for a period of time, it's always an opportunity for us Christians to learn more about ourselves and our ability to trust God in our vulnerabilities. And also to believe that God is going to take care of us, because that's who is in charge of all of this, even when we feel like we have been knocked to the ground. Well, that's what Christians do. We learn from our failures and grow in God, just like the school motto says that I just learned, where everybody is somebody and we all live for God. Today is the feast day of the beheading of St. John the Baptist. John the Baptist was somebody living for God, even while he was in King Herod's prison. And as you know, one night King Herod got a bit over-animated at a party, and he let his passions get the better of him. Herod had always been personally drawn to what John the Baptist was saying because there was truth in it. But because Herod wasn't living in the truth himself, he made a promise that he should not have made, and it cost the life and ended a career of an innocent man. What we do and what we say has an impact on other people's lives. Like the quote that says, the tongue doesn't have a single bone in it, but it has the power to break a heart. That's what we just heard Jesus say rather bluntly in Mark's Gospel. From within people, from their hearts, come evil thoughts and unchastity and theft and murder and adultery and greed. From within our hearts come malice and deceit, licentiousness, envy, blasphemy, arrogance, folly. All these evils, he says, come from within, and they defile. And defile just means to sully or to spoil. He's not talking to those people 2,000 years ago. He's talking to us people, to you and to me right now. That's what we do to our spirit when we engage in those things. As Father Bill Peckham, an author of Church Pop, said, we cannot spread discord, detraction, and calumny and call ourselves a loyal son or daughter of God. We cannot allow the sin of another, real or perceived, to be cause and justification for one's own sin. We cannot treat God as a hobby and expect to be treated as his son or daughter. And that's why Catholicism is a hard road to stay on. And those are wise words, I think, for the days that we're living in currently. Because sometimes we can be a King Herod and want to have someone's head on a platter when it disrupts our life. Or we can edit our thoughts and be a prophet of light, even when we feel like we are in a dark COVID prison. So how do we be that prophet of light? How do we add light to light? I saw recently there's a new color of black, and this black is so pure that when you place something in front of it, there's no reflection of light, there's no shadow, and it perverts the dimensions of the object or person standing in front of it. It makes them look smaller than they actually are. True, pure black is the absence of color. And we are the ones that get diminished in its darkness. It's what happens in addictions. Our view of life loses its color, and our world becomes diminished around us. On the other hand, white is the combination of all colors, and we want to add light to light. I heard a mystic once say that the reason the angels are so intrigued with admiration for humans is that because we were created with the light of God inside of us. And Catholics have always embraced that understanding, which is why we receive a lighted candle at our baptism to symbolize the light of Christ within us. I was bragging on our kids at school mass this week on how polite they are, how respectful, and how confident they come across. That's a light that's been handed on to them by God through faith to their parents and godparents, grandparents, school teachers, and this family of faith. I know we don't always see the light inside of our children, but people don't always see it inside of us either, but it's there. God is in them, God is in you and me, and God is here right now. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm especially grateful to our teachers right now. Our teachers have been trained and certified and educated in so many different ways and areas of specialty, and they contribute to the uniqueness that is Christ the King School and Parish. But they've never had any pandemic training until last year, and now the continuing education goes on. I've heard people say that the hardest job in the Catholic Church is the school principal. And I observed that for 8 years in Yukon. And I'm observing that again here at Christ the King. Mrs. Feeney has taken the bull by the horns to keep our school open, even when she sometimes feels like the prophet of light, locked up in a dark COVID prison about to be served upon a platter of emotions. But what she needs right now is our support and our encouragement. She needs our light and maybe a day or two at the spa. We all share the same goal. All of us share the same goal, along with the Archdiocese. We all want to see our children experience the love of Christ and to become lifelong, faith-filled learners. I'm very grateful to all of the support and encouragement that Amy has received from this community. We're all still learning as we go, and we're all following the Archdiocesan and the county health guidelines that best fits this parish. But none of us has the perfect answer. But just as the virus learns to adjust and adapt, so do we. And the more we come together collectively and bring our lights together, the better we all see. Last Sunday, the opening collect prayer, it says, "O God, who caused the minds of the faithful to unite in a single purpose, grant your people to love what you command, that amid the uncertainties of this world, our hearts may be fixed on that place where true gladness is found." So maybe today we could ask ourselves, where is my heart fixed? Is it as a prophet of light in a dark place? Or is it a king on a high horse? Because one takes sacrifice but adds light to light, and the other one doesn't.